Hello everybody, my name is Sota Watanabe and thank you very much for having me today here. I think this is my second time to speak at the BUIDL Asia. My first time was in Vietnam, and thank you very much for organizing such a great event. Today I would like to talk about not only Astar Network, but also about the Web3 mass adoption. Because in coming years, we have to onboard a billion of the people into the Web3. This is our mission as well as this industry's mission. And I would like to talk about how to make it happen. A little bit about myself. Again, my name is Sota Watanabe, founder of Astar Network and the Startale Lab. And I started Astar Network back in 2019 when I was a college student. And we started at the research center of the blockchain, at the University of Tokyo. And we started from Polkadot ecosystem, and we became the one of the first Polkadot parachain, which connected to Polkadot relay chain. And now we are recognized as the leading project in Polkadot ecosystem. At the same time, we do have a strong presence in Japan. So here is in Korea. So I would like to briefly about what Japanese ecosystem looks like. But a lot of people think Astar is the Japanese chain, but it's not. We are fully decentralized. We have 70 people from 19 different countries right now. A lot of the people think so because I'm Japanese. But my focus is not in Japan right now. And this conference is all about tech. But tech is the one of the factors that drive the society. Another two important factors, regulation and also social movements. So I would like to cover this topic as well. Apart from Astar and Startale, I also partially belonging to Sony right now to create a blockchain at the Sony. Our mission is Web3 for billions, accelerating the universal access to the open internet. My interest is all about mass adoption and how to make it happen. This is the Web3 adoption in 2023 and internet adoption in 1999, which is similar. So we're gonna onboard, if everything goes well, we're gonna onboard a billion of the people by 2030. And we are on the way right now. And the left side is, left side is the browser what looks like in 1999. And the right side is the browser what looks like in 2023. So what I want to say is we are so early right now. And some of the critical innovation will be emerged in coming years. And key components we are looking for, we are deeply researching and we are implementing right now. In terms of the tech, ZK and scaling, and ZK and interoperability, and account abstraction and chain abstraction. And when it comes to business pillars, we are providing the vertical products from blockchain layer to app layer. And we would like to provide experience to the users. Right now, a lot of the focus goes to the tech, but the most important things is the user experience and how to provide wow experience to the users, just like Web2 company do, like Apple, Samsung, Sony, and so on. And one of our core strategy is leveraging global Web2 products and onboarding Web2 people to Web3, because in a Web3, we are a startup. And it is very tough and it takes time to acquire users from scratch. So we would like to leverage existing product and existing people to onboard Web3. And the left side is how industry looks like today. A lot of the people are comparing, Solana and Ethereum, Bitcoin and other blockchain, and so on. So people are talking about blockchain versus blockchain, and node versus node, indexer versus indexer. So industry is fragmented, and different people are providing the different service. And if you would like to make dApps, you have to rely on some wallet, and wallet relies on indexer. Indexer relies on nodes, and node relies on blockchain. For us, we are right now making the Astar. And also, we already disclosed the information to make a blockchain together with Sony. This is the blockchain layer. We are also making Startale Web3 service, which includes node management service and indexer service and wallet management. And we are focusing on entertainment right now. And we're going to deploy some of the dApps in the future. So Startale Lab would like to vertically provide a lot of the service so we can provide experience, good, unique experience. And I would like to show you some of the example. So one example is Samsung, because I'm here in Korea right now. So Samsung own semiconductor business and a design service, and they own the manufacturing the factory, and they own supply chain, and they have shop. So they can provide integrated service with strong brand. And that's why they can provide brand, they can provide unique experience, that better experience than us. And another example is Sony versus Nintendo. Nintendo is the old gaming company, and Sony is relatively new gaming company after Nintendo. But right now, they have a strong presence. Probably everybody knows PlayStation. One of the reasons why they could take market share from Nintendo is they have factory. So they are providing the electronics application service. So they could use that factory for gaming. And then they also own the semiconductor business as well. So they can use their own semiconductor, own factory, own supply chain, and own shop. So user experience is much better than Web2 company as of today. One of the focus at this moment for me is the joint venture between Startale Lab, which is the company behind Astar, and Sony. We received 3.5 million initial investment from Sony, and we created a joint venture called Sony Network Communication Lab. We combine Sony and Lab, our company. And this chain aims to achieve Web3 mass adoption by leveraging existing asset and service. So we would like to onboard a lot of the electronic application touchpoints, gaming, and bank, music, picture in a global scale. So I think some of the critical information will be released in coming months, and this is our one of the focus right now. And I would like to make this chain with a strong alliance with Astar Network. So making it happen is actually the most difficult things, given they are such a big company. But once make it happen, this can be one of the biggest projects. And I'm trying to make it happen within coming months. And one of the core advantage for us is the experience working with a lot of the existing company, such as Sony, NTT, Toyota, Seven, Hakoda, and so on. Mainly comes from Japan at this moment. The interesting thing is the Japanese government made Web3 as a national strategy. So the government, as well as the big tech company, would like to work on Web2. I think this is very unique. Given that a lot of the country, I avoid saying that country's name. Given a lot of the countries hesitate to work on Web3 and the regulation is not clear. So for example, what we are doing with Seven, this is the convenience store. I see some of the Seven store in Korea too. You can donate, let's say, Japanese yen at the convenience store. And if you donate, you can get proof of the donation NFT. with, you can get a receipt of the donation. And once you scan QR code, the donation NFT goes to your wallet. So you don't need to know what wallet is. You don't need to know what private key is. You can get the NFT as a proof of the donation. So I think this kind of the POC itself does not make a huge difference. But if a lot of the company, a lot of the people use Astar and our chain, and other people can reference the proof of the donation NFT, and then they can integrate that NFT to other service, or we can make a list of the people, list of the address which donate, and we can use that kind of list for the other service. I think this is one of the good point of the blockchain. We are doing the campaign together with Casio and Japan Airlines and so on. What we are doing with Casio is a little bit interesting. We have I will be speaking later, but we are doing the campaign right now. If you mint Casio NFT on Astar, and if you are the one of the loyal customer, you can get the Casio for watch, the Astar color watch. And we are making these kind of the real products by leveraging the blockchain. And Japan Airlines is also interesting. They have a lot of the tours, right? You can go to a lot of the places in Japan, and a lot of the people goes to famous place. But there are a lot of the good place which is not famous but worth visiting. So if you have, for example, it's not an example, but if you have an NFT, you can go to a samurai house. You can stay at the samurai house, which is pretty much exclusive. It's not on a web page, but you can experience these kind of things if you have a Japan Airlines NFT. So we are focusing on making experience through blockchain, as well as we are also focusing on DeFi and NFT and so on. But our focus is delivering the new experience to the users. But right now, still, it is very difficult to provide Web2-like experience for Web3 users. And that's why we are pretty much focusing on chain abstraction, account abstraction, and so on, as well as changing regulation. So from now on, I would like to speak about Astar and our history. So we started from Polkadot ecosystem and expanding to other network. So from the beginning, our focus was scalability and interoperability. And Astar has two networks right now: Astar Layer 1, which is the Polkadot parachain, and Astar Layer 2, which is the Ethereum Layer 2 powered by Polygon CDK, Chain Development Kit. On our Layer 1, we have a multiple virtual machine. So we have a Ethereum virtual machine as well as WebAssembly. So you can deploy not only Solidity code, but also code written by Rust or Go or C++. And if you deploy, let's say Rust code on WebAssembly, you can interact with Solidity code on EVM and vice versa. And I think a couple of months ago, we announced Astar ZK EVM, which is the Ethereum Layer 2 powered by Polygon ZK rollup. And Astar ZK EVM has been deployed, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago. And after the launch, I think we have decent the ecosystem adoption and the transactions and so on. And right now, we are focusing on DeFi and NFT, but in the long run, our focus is going to be real-life use cases, which generally people are going to use without knowing blockchain, without knowing private key, and so on. So we would like to work with a lot of the companies to onboard their users to Web3. So we're gonna be a gateway, and Polygon provide Polygon Chain Development Kit that allow other projects to deploy Ethereum Layer 2. And we are the first project that adapt aggregation layer of the Polygon. So aggregation layer allow Ethereum Layer 2 to interact each other by using shared liquidity. So right now, they had only two Polygon-based Ethereum layer 2 that is connected to our aggregation layer. So the networking effect is pretty much limited. But we can interact with Polygon ZK EVM and Astar ZK EVM seamlessly right now because we connected to aggregation layer. And I personally interested in expanding this aggregation layer to other blockchain as well. So one of the scope which Astar Foundation would like to implement is the aggregation, multi-chain aggregation layer powered by ZK. I think I can skip this page, but in terms of the real life use case, Astar has been fighting with Polygon in Japan. According to the poll by Japan Blockchain Association, 44% of the Japanese developers chose Astar, 25% chose Polygon. So we combine, then in total 70% we can get. And Astar goes to modular as well. So right now we have two R&D section. One is the modular blockchain. So right now Astar ZK EVM is the Validium, which means we are managing data availability layer off-chain. So, but in the long run, we would like to implement data availability layer or use data availability layer. And another thing is the layer 3. So Astar ZK EVM's gas fee is $0.07 or $0.05 and so on if you mint NFT or if you swap token. But it's still expensive. So it can be near zero. So we are implementing layer 3 right now, and this is one of our focus. Even though we deploy our ZK EVM mainnet 2 or 3 weeks ago, our ecosystem is growing. We have multiple decent projects, and some of the enterprises and some of the daily use cases will be built on Astar in coming months, coming weeks. So right now, this is the architecture of Astar, and we have Polkadot parachain, and we have Ethereum layer 2, and we are connecting each other right now. So you can transfer our token from, layer 1 to layer 2, Ethereum layer 2 to Polkadot parachain. Yeah, that's us. And because I'm somehow representing Japan, so I would like to share some of the landscape of Japan and regulation. So I think Japan is one of the unique country which has positive attitude toward Web3. I think the reason is Japan used to be a fast growing country in terms of the economic size. Used to be number one in terms of the electronic applications, car, and so on. But we completely lost in Web 2. We don't have any global Web 2 company from Japan, even though Korea has, let's say, Kakao or maybe Neighbor and so on. And Line. The politicians right now know the age Japan was number one and Japan is losing. So they think Web3 is the next big opportunity. And the good thing is they made Web3 as a national strategy. So a lot of the big companies such as Sony or such as NTT are really interested in working on Web3 right now. And probably the Sony is the largest company which has really potential in the Web3 domain because they have a entertainment business, the gaming business, they have a bank, they have a car, they have insurance, and a lot. And after making the Web3 as a national strategy, they have already changed some of the regulation, such as the tax on unrealized gain and the corporate tax and so on. And one of the good things is cryptocurrency is officially declared from different category from security. So cryptocurrency is cryptocurrency in Japan. It's not security. So all company can have cryptocurrency as cryptocurrency, not security. And a lot of all VCs, all people can invest in cryptocurrency as cryptocurrency. So this is declared separated from security. So we do have regulation. Regulation is pretty much clear, getting clear and clear. But the individual tax is still very expensive. It's up to 55%, which is super expensive. So this is the things we have to change. But to change these kind of the things, we need use cases. We have to prove that Web3 is not gambling. We have to prove that Web3 is very useful for not only for tech people, but also for the general people. So that's why we are focusing on real life use cases, which I mentioned before. And we are doing the NFT campaign right now called Yoki Origin. And we have been working with a lot of the company. And if you have, let's say, the Casio NFT or JAR NFT and other NFT, you may be rewarded. And at the same time, I would like to make this we would like to make a loyalty list of the chain by having specific NFT and by understanding how many NFT you own, we're gonna visualize the loyalty of the chain, and we would like to use this for the governance, use this for loyalty program, and so on. We are still very early stage, and as I said, we have to make critical innovations in coming years. I think in coming 5 years, to onboard a billion of the people to Web3. And one of the things we have to do is to make a successful use cases, not only for DeFi people, but not only for NFT people, but also for general people who really do not understand Web3. We have to prove Web3 just like internet of today. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation today. And this is my Twitter, and feel free to contact me. I will be around. Thank you very much.